So the UK has 6 species of native tern, however one of which, the black tern, is now extinct as a breeding bird due to habitat loss and egg collecting. Here in the Skerries we have 2 species, the Arctic tern and the common tern.
So how do you tell the difference between an Arctic tern and a common tern? First up, Arctic terns. They have a blood red beak and feet with short legs. They also have long tail streamers and are slightly smaller than common terns. Although very similar, there are a few differences. The common tern has an orange beak and legs and has a black tip on the end of its beak. The group name sterner for many terns is derived from the Old English word stern.
In addition to these 2 species, we also get the occasional roseate will pair up with a common tern, creating fertile hybrids. We also regularly get sandwich terns flying over. Speak of the devil.
The sandwich tern is the UK's largest species of tern. Sorry for quality, but I did record this with my phone through some binoculars. Sandwich terns can be identified by their large size, their black feet and beak with a yellow point at the end, and a shaggy crest on top of their head. Later on in the week, we got a visit by a female red-breasted merganser, a type of diving duck. And then the discovery was made. Our first tern egg. And more kept appearing.
Interesting coloured tern egg.
They will be incubated for the next 21 to 25 days. And then the chicks will hatch. They can lay anywhere from between 1 to 4 eggs, 2 or 3 being the norm. I know space is short, but they are choosing some unusual nesting spots.
Right on the steps.
As you can see, we have marked the nests along the pathways out. They are appearing everywhere. But with eggs being laid, the tern's attitude deteriorates. Or you could say, they get a little sterner. Anyway, terns attack would-be predators by pecking them and defecating.
Lovely.
And as my favourite tern Max is demonstrating, anyone can be hit. And in a colony of several thousand birds, nowhere is safe.
The delight of drying your washing in a tern colony.
In an earlier episode, I mentioned we were visited by a flock of chuffs. Similar to the tern leghorns, we were able to identify one as a 2-year-old female through her rings. The colour ringing is part of a long-running study of chuffs in mid and North Wales. It is shedding light on their movements, social nesting behaviours, as well as longevity. If you see any chuffs in the mid or North Wales regions, you can help by recording the location, the behaviour, and if it has any rings. Send any information you can collect to Adrian Stratford with the following email address. This week we saw a 5th species of gull arrive on the island, the kittiwake. They don't breed on the island, and it is merely only roosting. They can be identified by their black feet, their yellow bill without the orange spot, grey upper parts, and a much kinder face than the other species. And speaking of gulls...
So I just saw a great black-backed gull dive onto the colony. While I initially thought it was going to grab a tern or an egg, it actually came up with a live rabbit and swallowed it whole.
Yum. And the first of our black-headed gull chicks is hatched. However, it's not all good news. As the weather turns bad, some eggs are at risk of rolling in high winds or getting chilled. And that's not the only problem the terns will now be facing, as predators will start homing in on the colony after the eggs. Once again, that's it for this week. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.